Hello, friends. Welcome to a very vital topic that is GST on real estate or construction. Before we go ahead with the discussion of GST on real estate, it is very imperative to understand certain definitions or meaning of the terms related to this. Let's begin with a few key definitions. Now, to begin with, the apartments are broadly classified into residential apartments and commercial apartments. And for the purpose of GST, residential apartments are further classified into affordable residential apartment and non-affordable residential apartments. Now, the question arises as to what is affordable residential apartment. The two important prerequisite condition for any residential apartment to fit into the definition of affordable residential apartment would be the residential apartment. If a residential apartment has a carpet area not exceeding 60 square meter, if it is located in a metropolitan cities, or in any other cities or town if the carpet area does not exceed 90 meters will be the first condition. One more condition in addition to this would be that the gross amount charged should not exceed more than 45 lakhs. If these two conditions are satisfied, then the residential apartment be would constitute as affordable residential apartment. If these conditions are not satisfied, it would fall under the category of non-affordable residential apartment or other residential apartment. Now, the question that naturally arises here would be, what is gross amount charged? The gross amount charged would be the consideration that is charged by the promoter or the builder from the buyer for the apartment. Now, what does it include and what does it exclude needs to be paid attention. Let's begin with the list of inclusions. Uh, it would include the amount charged for undivided share of the land, and it would also include the charges levied on the preferential locations, if any, development charges, parking charges, and common facility charges would also form part of the gross amount charged. Now, let's focus on the exclusions. Stamp duty payable to the registrar would be excluded in order to arrive at the gross amount charged. Also, if any maintenance charges or the maintenance deposits have been paid, that would also be excluded. Maintenance charges for common infrastructure, if any charged, would also be excluded in order to arrive at the gross amount charged to check whether it is below 45 lakhs or not. Let's move on to the next key term, that is project. Project in general, as you know, means development of a building or converting an existing building to an apartment. There are two types of project in the context of GST, that would be REP and RREP, which is commonly known. And REP would stand for real estate project and RREP would stand for residential real estate project. Now let us try to understand as to what is real estate project or REP in common. If in any project all the units are commercial units, then it is said to be real estate project. And if any project is a combination of residential and commercial apartment, then in that case, if the carpet area of the commercial unit is more than 15% of the total carpet area, then such a project would also be treated as REP, that is real estate project. Now coming to the category of residential real estate project, if in any project all the units are residential units or residential apartment, then it is said to be residential real estate project. And if any project is a combination of both residential and commercial, then the checkpoint to decide whether it is categorized as real estate project or residential real estate project would be the carpet area of a commercial property is, if it is not more than 15% of the total carpet area of all the apartment, then such a project would constitute as residential real estate project. New GST tax regime. The provisions in respect of GST on real estate have completely modified with effect from 1st April 2019. Now, the GST regime, new GST regime for that matter, is compulsory for a real estate project which commences on or after 1st April 2019. In case of ongoing project as on 1st April 2019, an option is given to the promoter to opt for old GST regime. If the promoter or the builder wants to continue under the old GST regime, he has to submit a declaration to the jurisdictional commissioner before 20th May 2019. If such a declaration is not submitted by that given time, he is deemed to have opted for new GST tax regime. Now, in this context, the question that arises is what is ongoing project as on 1st April 2019? The checkpoint to come to the conclusion whether it is an ongoing project or not would be if the commencement certificate is issued on or before 31st March 2019, then such a project would be uh, said to be ongoing project. And if the completion certificate has not been issued on or before 31st March 2019, even that project would constitute as ongoing project. Apartment, if any apartment has been booked partly or wholly before 31/3/2019, even that would constitute as an ongoing project. Now let's move on to the rates of GST on real estate under new tax regime. Rates are different wherein supply involves transfer of undivided share of land and charges for the same are included in the amount charged to the customer. Now, for affordable residential apartment as defined in the earlier slides, if it where the supply involves the transfer of land or the undivided share of land, the rate would be 1%. And if it supply does not involve the transfer of undivided share of land, then the percentage of GST would be 1.5%. Coming to the case of other residential apartment, that is other than affordable residential apartment, the GST rate would be 5% if the supply involves the transfer of undivided share of land, and it would be 7.5% if it does not involve the transfer of undivided share of land. The next case would be commercial apartment. The percentage of the GST would be 12% if the supply involves transfer of land, and wherein if it does not involve the transfer of land, the percentage would be 18%. Important point which is worth mentioning here is one-third abatement towards the value of land is prescribed. Therefore, you can find the rate difference when transfer of land is involved to the extent of one-third of the percentage. If GST is payable as aforesaid rates, the following restrictions or the conditions are applicable. That is, input tax credit is not available if you're going under the new tax regime. The second one would be 80% of the value of the input and input services used in supplying of this service shall be received from the registered supplier only. If not received, the promoter is required to pay GST at the rate of 18% under reverse charge mechanism to the extent of the difference in this percentage. The shortfall from 80%, then the builder or the promoter would be liable to pay GST at the rate of 18% on the RCM basis. Coming to the other condition, if where cement is received by the promoter from an unregistered person, then promoter shall pay GST at applicable rate, that is 28% and RCM. And if input where input capital goods is received from the unregistered person, then the promoter or the builder shall pay GST at the applicable rate under RCM, that is reverse charge mechanism. Thank you, friends. I kindly request you to click on the subscribe button. Uh, Thank you.